So first question, why did you decide to build your own thing, i.e. Supercede, rather than go work for Guy Carpenter or stay at Aon and develop their existing solutions? Those being AB Connect and GC Marketplace.
That's a good question. I think for us, you could put emphasis on so many different words on that question, because you could say, why did you build? But I think it was less about us, really. In some ways, it was more about this crisis moment of the industry where, AB Connect and GC Marketplace were great for Aon and Guy Carpenter, but they weren't the only brokers in the space.
Yep.
What were all the other brokers going to do? And I think all the brokers were sat there going, do we now have to spend millions on building our own systems as well? Yep. And all the reinsurers, meanwhile, were going, oh dear, if we have to log into 10 different systems, every renewal season and be like constantly jumping back and forwards between them, that's going to kill us. Yeah. And so initially, I think that was one of the main things for us. It was trying to figure out how this was going to get solved. Yeah. It so happened that afterwards we realized that we might actually be able to be the ones to start something after a heck of a lot of research and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we recognized really early on was that to that point, one, the worst case scenario is 20 solutions that every underwriter has to sort of have access to, and that all work differently, et cetera. And that the industry wouldn't use Aon's tool and the industry wouldn't use Guy Carpenter's tool. Those underwriters are happy to sort of log on and follow what those big firms want them to do, but you're not going to see Willis going, oh, Aon, can we use your placement platform? Or, Guy Carpenter, can we, you were never going to see that. So there was always this need for something to happen that would be independent. And then I think having both of us worked at the big firms, a little bit of kind of setting out and having the autonomy, and so going, well, if we think we should do it this way, I don't need to sort of convince someone else that that's the way we should do it. We just have to convince each other that that's a good way to do it. And I think that there's an appeal to that. Maybe following on from our M&A conversation, the same reason people might go, I'm going to leave that underwriting firm because I had a different thesis than those people did. We can test that out a bit more with a bit more freedom.
Yeah, and I think it underlines a lot of the reason we insist so heavily on independence as well, right? Because not only for the reinsurers would it have been a pain to have to log into 20 different systems, but as we started working more and more with cedents as well and really trying to help all parties in the reinsurance deal-making process, whether you're buying, broking, or underwriting, as a cedent, you don't want to have to go into a different system to track each deal you're doing, but you do want to be able to work with lots of different broker partners. And likewise, so it just makes sense to have an independent system that everybody can use freely as much as they want to, really.
Yeah, and I think when you're sitting between those parties, it provides a really interesting and valuable lens. Anytime a single firm builds something, they're always client number one. They're doing it for other, partners or similar, and they want those partners to have a good experience, of course. But at the end of the day, it has to benefit them a little bit more, because that's why they're investing so much in it, where we sit quite nicely now between those things going, oh, we're doing this for these people and for those people. It's all okay, because we're just trying to service the group.
We want everybody to have a nice party. Everyone. Not just the birthday boy.
But he gets the most cake.